One of the types of text in the Gospels is miracle stories. They appear in all 4 Gospels and are a significant proportion of the Gospel text, especially in the Synoptic Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. A miracle is, according to Catholic teaching, a sign or wonder brought about by God, which is both revealing about God and a call to faith for humans. The word miracle comes from the Latin word for wonder, meaning a sight to behold. Therefore, miracles are evident to the senses, to the eyes. Jesus performs miracles according to all 4 Gospel writers. These are an important part of the ministry of Jesus, and are described as being performed often as part of Jesus' day-to-day life, rather than as a special event or feature. There are 2 broad categories into which the miracles of Jesus fit: miracles of healing and miracles of nature. The miracles of Jesus in the Gospels enact the teaching of Jesus and present him as the Messiah of Israel. In the modern era, many people reject the possibility of miracles. Although some might allow for some effects of healing, the nature miracles are perhaps even more difficult to explain. The Catholic Church has always taught that Jesus performed the miracles as described in the Scripture, and indeed that miracles can and do still occur today. So, how do you analyze a miracle narrative? Firstly, look for who is involved, the characters, and the role they play. Do they participate in the miracle, or is it done to them? What responsibility does the character have? Secondly, the events. What are the causes of the miraculous events? Is it prayer, performance, pronouncement, provision? And what is the event? An exorcism, a healing, a punishment, a raising? Thirdly, is it written in the 3rd person narration, or is it 1st person? Miracle stories in the Gospels are often told in the 3rd person. The narrators are never characters in the miracle stories. Some miracle stories outside the Gospels are told in the 1st person. Fourthly, voice. The main message of the story may be explained with the voice of one of the characters, rather than the narrator. Fifth, perspective. In the Gospel miracle stories, the perspective is usually external. The focus is on the actions, occurrences, and statements. There are sometimes indications of an internal perspective, when the thoughts or emotions of the audience are presented in the conclusion. Sixthly, the theme of the miracle narrative can be analyzed. Before looking at finally, when it happened in Jesus' ministry, was it one of his first miracles? His last? Now read the miracle story on the screen, and have a go at analyzing it for yourself. Scholars have applied form criticism to the healing miracles, and have discovered that the healing miracles in the Gospels usually take a similar pattern, which might be interpreted as having 5 stages. This is similar to the idea that a fairy tale might begin once upon a time as an introduction. The introduction to a healing miracle is where a geographical and temporal setting is given. The condition of a person is described. The healer comes into contact with this person, or someone tells the healer about them. Secondly, there is a delay or a conflict while the healer hesitates or tests the sick person's readiness to be healed. Sometimes there is an intervention by another person who delays the healing. Thirdly, the healing action itself is brought about verbally or by touch, or sometimes through more elaborate means. Sometimes the healing action is not explicitly described, but implied. Fourthly, it is confirmed that the healing has taken place either by the narrator or by an action of the person who has been healed, such as them standing up or walking or speaking. And finally, there is some sort of reaction from those who witnessed the event. In the Gospels, this response is often a positive response, for example, giving praise to God. But sometimes there are negative reactions from the opponents of Jesus.